You ever look at a piece of tech you just bought, a physical thing you can hold, and wonder why you have to keep paying for it every single month? Well, today we're diving into a perfect example of that, a $1,200 a year subscription that is, get this, the literal brain for a very powerful piece of hardware. We're going to deconstruct how they justify that price and what it really tells us about where tech is heading.
So think about this for a second. You've got this amazing military-grade machine. It's tough, it's powerful, it's expensive. But what's the one thing, the one switch you can flip that turns it from a high-tech wonder into, well, a completely useless and very heavy box of metal? It's a really interesting question, and it gets right to the heart of how modern technology actually works. And boom! Here's the answer, right from the company itself. It's such a simple but powerful way to put it. The hardware you buy, that's just the body. It has all the parts, the muscle. But the subscription, that is the brain. It's the intelligence, the spark that makes the whole thing work. And without it, you've just got an empty shell.
So what exactly is this brain? Well, its official name is the RIOS Mobile Pro Optimum subscription. And the company is very clear. This is not some optional add-on or a pro feature. Nope. They position it as the essential, non-negotiable operating system that the hardware simply cannot function without.
You see, they're not just selling you software. They're selling you what they call a mission-critical service layer. And I love this phrase. It turns everything into a single intelligent organism. It takes all these different parts, the router, the AI server, multiple internet connections, and it fuses them together so they act as one cohesive thinking unit. That fusion, that's the real product here.
All right, so let's talk superpowers. What exactly are you getting for your $100 a month? What does this $1,200 a year brain actually do that makes it so indispensable? Let's break it down.
Okay, here's the list of what gets switched on. You get access to a cloud portal so you can manage your gear from anywhere. You get the main event, something called Intelligence Signal Fusion. We'll talk more about that in a sec. You also get Sovereign AI Orchestration, which is a fancy way of saying you can manage and deploy AI models from afar. Plus, there's a secure VPN, a program to earn back some credits, and this one's huge for their customers, priority support with a guaranteed 4-hour response. It's a whole package of services. Now, let's just park all those other features for a moment and zoom in on just one of them, because this one is a complete game changer, Intelligence Signal Fusion. Now, your phone can switch between Wi-Fi and 5G, right? But this system doesn't switch. It uses them, like Starlink and 5G, at the exact same time. It bonds them together. And this perfectly shows why it's a service, not just a product. So here's how that plays out in the real world. Imagine you're in a vehicle on a critical video call using Starlink. Suddenly, you drive under a big tree and the satellite signal gets blocked. Normally, your call drops. Game over. But with this system, the data for your call is instantly, and I mean instantly, rerouted over the 5G connection without missing a single beat. You don't even notice a glitch. The call never drops. That's the magic. Okay, that kind of unbreakable connection is definitely valuable. No doubt. But is it $1,200 a year valuable? Let's shift gears and look at the money. Let's decode this price tag and see where all that cash is actually going. And there it is, $1,200, billed annually. Now, yeah, that's $100 a month, but you're paying it all up front. That's a serious commitment. So the big question is, how much of that is just pure profit? And how much does it actually cost the company to provide this magic internet service? So first, we got to quickly cover a little bit of business speak. COGS, or cost of goods sold. For a digital service, this is basically the raw, direct cost to keep it running for one single customer for 1 year. We're talking about things like server costs, support staff time, stuff like that. It's the bare bones cost of delivery. And here is how that $1,200 breaks down. You can see that only $384 of it actually goes to the direct cost of providing the service. The rest, a massive $816, is gross profit. That's a 68% gross margin. To put it simply, for every dollar they bring in, 68 cents goes straight to their bottom line. That is an incredibly healthy business. But what's inside that $384 cost? It's not just a made-up number. You can see the biggest chunk, $180, goes to cloud computing. Those are the powerful servers doing all that signal bonding magic. Then you've got about $100 for the cost of having support techs on standby, $35 for payment processing fees, another $30 for third-party APIs like mapping, and the rest is for storage and maintenance. These are real, ongoing expenses. So, okay, the numbers make sense. It's a profitable business, but there's a much deeper, much more clever strategy at play here. This isn't just about a price tag, it's about the master plan for the entire company. And this, right here, is the absolute core of their pricing logic. For their target customer, think a big industrial company or a first responder agency. $100 a month is nothing. It's a rounding error on their fuel bill. Heck, it costs them over $500 just to send one technician out one time to fix a router that went offline. So paying $100 a month to make sure that never happens, it's a no-brainer. But the real genius here isn't just the profit on day one. It's all about a concept called customer stickiness. The whole business model is built to make this service so essential, so deeply woven into how the hardware works, that the idea of canceling becomes almost unthinkable. The goal isn't just to get you to buy it once, it's to make sure you renew year after year after year. And this slide lays out the brutal choice a customer has to make when it's time to renew. With the subscription, you have this automated thinking network. Without it, well, that intelligent signal bonding gets shut off. Your cloud portal becomes read-only. You can look, but you can't touch. That expensive AI server, it becomes an empty shell. Your hardware literally goes from being a smart, automated system to just a dumb, manual router. They call this a soft lock-in. The hardware technically still works, but its brain, its entire reason for being, is gone. All right, so let's pull all this together and land the plane. What's the big takeaway here? What does this specific business model tell us about the bigger picture in the world of tech? Here's the bottom line. This model is a masterclass in converting an old-school, one-time hardware sale into a beautiful, long-term, predictable, and wildly profitable stream of recurring revenue. For a modern tech business, that is the absolute holy grail. And that leaves us with a much bigger and maybe slightly unsettling question, one that goes way beyond this single product. As more and more of our devices, our cars, our phones, our smart home gadgets require a subscription to unlock their full power, we have to ask ourselves, are we really moving away from an era of owning products and into a future where we just rent their capabilities forever?